Fuck it.
Nobody knows. It's fine. Bye bye. Yes. Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Breakdown Britballin. I am Mike McGugan. I am your host of the show, joined by my lovely angel of the North, Adam Wilkin. Good evening. Good to be back.
Yes, mate. I am very happy to be back. Apart from this camera, I keep looking at that camera, but I've got that camera on today because that's the new one, and it still doesn't bloody work.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm over the moon to be back. How's my Manchester B?
Absolutely pissing, buzzing. Football's back. What's better? This good question already, guys. Get in the questions, comments. We'll read it all out tonight. So, what do you guys do for the 5 minutes? I know what Adam does. I generally share stuff on Facebook, talk, do stuff, and mess about, and drink lots of water, ready to go.
I try to basically fix my camera. I've got a choice of two, and neither's working because it's something to do with Chrome. But I've just found that out after 4 weeks. But never mind.
So, it's glad to be back. Glad to have you back. We was going to do a couple of shows leading up to it, but we really wanted to have a little bit of a break so we could come in this fresh as daisies, and we kind of got a bit of a different stance. So this will be our weekly show, the breakdown, where we'll break down all the games. We're going to do not preseason, some predictions, power rankings, everything you kind of want to see. Everything you want to see in an action-packed hour and a half. So moving forward.
There is one thing I need to quickly say, right? We've got over 60 people watching right now. 1 like on the stream. Get liking. Come on. Come on. Help us out.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and all that. No, but if you want to see more of this, future reference, guys, if you can help us out, obviously we're both usually tied up on a Sunday, so if you could send us anyone who you think's MVPs, any key games, if you've had a good season, good session, and you want us to know about it, just let us know. We don't know what we don't know. Unfortunately, we can't just sit there on a Sunday. Earn your likes. UK American football scene. You tell us what you need to do for a like, which keeps clothes on.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Zipping the jacket up.
No, I can't do that. The double chin comes out. Right, okay, let's get to it. How do you want to go through it? So we'll go through the games. Again, everyone drop comments down below. We're going to go through some games, but I think we're going to start off with some statement games, aren't we? So for you, Adam, what was the biggest statement game this week, really?
The biggest one this week?
Yeah, your biggest one where you looked at that game and thought, that's a statement, that.
You know what it is, right? There's a few that I think really is statement games. Like,
that's class. What I asked for one. So you got to choose one.
Bournemouth smashing the Destroyers.
Okay, fair enough. Why was it? What made that? So what was the score of that game? Whilst you talk about the game, I'll try my best to find.
Well, basically, we're in a little competition, by the way. That's why UK American football scene is here. We are putting our picks in and our points totals. And this week, I picked the teams because they were quite southern, and Mike hasn't got an Scooby-Doo about southern teams.
No, so I think they did that on purpose. They've watched this enough to know that we're weak down south. Get up north, and if we don't get full scores, then They've
done that, but they picked my old team in there, and I was like, "What? I've got that one. I know that one straight away. That's an L."
They're losing.
Yeah. No, but Portsmouth, I was expecting Portsmouth to come out and absolutely batter Bournemouth. Like, one of my coaches from Sunderland is coaching at Bournemouth now, and I was like, how are you guys looking? He was like, oh, we've got a lot of players and we're looking decent, but Portsmouth. And I was like, that's a hard first game. And then they fucking beat them.
20-0. Not only just any kind of win, a big old win. Yeah, big old win. You'd probably say three touchdowns. This is going to be a good question. And we'll come back to this in a minute, David. What's more important, winning or getting whole squad's game time? I'm sure that's going to crop up an awful lot throughout tonight when we're talking about some of these statement games.
Yeah.
Now, so for me, the biggest statement game, I think one of the biggest surprises, I'm going to have to say the Leicester Falcons. Running the Tamworth Phoenix 12-7. I know they had their Americans. I think it was more not seeing Tamworth absolutely kill Leicester, which we've seen in the past, that was the biggest statement for me, showing that a Div 1 team, this isn't the worst thing in the world, I think, this league, because, you know, that's a Div 1 team who wouldn't have played against the top Prem team, and they've run them close. I mean, for a flag, arguably scored the game-winning touchdown, which got punched out on the goal line. It was on telly for everyone to see, as it were. So, yeah, I think that was the biggest statement game. That was the biggest one where I can't. Well, there's two, that one, but I'm only allowed one. Back to you. Over to you.
Over to me. What? The next? I'm picking the next statement game.
You've got your next statement game, yeah.
Oh, well, obviously, Blitz Kent. Like,
yeah,
that is my next, like, go-to game. Like, that. I see, you know what it is, right? Where I've seen the results, okay, they had it the other way around. They had the result as Kent winning. And I was like, I was telling the missus, who honestly does not give a flying, you know what.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What do you mean? It's Kent, and I don't care." And I was like, "No, that's a massive game." I was like, "That's a blitz, man." I was like,
I think there was winning till late, and then the blitz scored late on to win the game. Yeah, that was a big one. And later on in the show, actually, we've got the Kent coaches coming on to talk in a little bit more detail. So, which will give a couple of things away, but. If what we're going to do each week is we're going to try and bring on, we've got like a game of the week, which we think was the best game, and me and Adam both agreed pre-show that was probably the Kent Blitz game, whilst they weren't the scoring wise. So that was kind of our Britballin's ball game of the week. So we're going to bring on the coaching staff from that each week, where possible, one of the coaching staffs, just to talk about the game.
We've got two coaching staff coming on this week as well, don't we? So
yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Another coach and stuff. So we've actually got the head coach of Darlington Steam coming on later on, who picked up their first ever league win.
Yeah, that's massive. That really impressed with that. So they managed to get a team together over lockdown, and then they managed to not only compete, but I think I'm just having a look now for the score.
38-0.
38-0. So that's a pretty impressive win as far as it goes.
I was at that game. And it was a good win. It was a good win. Yeah. And I mean, their number one called me out after the game because I had a Gateshead hoodie on. He was like, "We're gonna smash you in a couple of weeks." I was like, "Oh, all right, mate."
That's brave.
I was like, "All right, thank you, man." I was like, "You've got that's one." Jesus, fucking calm down, son.
And for anyone in the comments who had Gateshead to appear before the 20-minute mark has just won £10 million.
I've even put a Jags hat on today, not even Gateshead. By the way, for people that didn't realise, I was wearing a Sheffield Giants top the other day.
Yeah, I mean, you should. I've not seen it on Facebook at all. Is that your colour now?
It looks nice on us, though. In fact, wait there.
I know. We've still got
there you go.
Right, Sheffield. Good comment come here from Daniel James Corbett. This would have been my statement game, but I think Sandwell pulled away towards the end. I'm an all-line player for Sandwell Steelers, and the game was tight until the third quarter. That's Sandwell versus well, I called them Stoke, but it's Staffordshire Surge. We're tight until the third quarter. Had Staffordshire players dropping left, right, and centre. They had 16 injuries yesterday. And that's interesting because that was one of the key talking points, was whether people would get injured in this. That's a Prem team taking on a Div 1 team, I think staffs are. Proverbial Div 1, Div 2 team. So, really interesting to see that. And that kind of ties into the next point of David Ray. I'm going to ask you this question, Adam. What's more important for a coach, winning or getting the whole squad game time?
What, this season?
We'll go this season.
This season alone, I just want people to play. Safely. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, there's still going to be people in some squads at all levels that aren't ready for game time, no matter the opponent. Let's be honest, they still need to train. There's not been much training going on for some rookies and things. So that's not time to throw those guys in. But where it's safe to do so, get people game time. But at the end of the day, everyone's still paying their subs. So the starters still need game time. Like, you could, just because you're scoring 50 points and a half or something, like, let's be honest, those starters have earned that game time over however many years. So it's one of them things.
Yeah, a couple of comments coming in. Whole squad game time wins all over. Yeah, I mean, I suppose one of the key ones in there in terms of factoring in is the Titans' statement of beating the Lancashire Wolverines 83-0. And this was always the fear, wasn't it, of these kind of situations. Again, I can only speak from training with the Titans, playing with the Titans. That from my understanding, it was all rotation the whole way. I think their starters were out by the end of the first quarter. But the problem you're going to have is a team like Titans and potentially when the Warriors play, well, not necessarily. That's probably going to be the biggest skew, I think, in terms of this, because that's the only kind of top 3 team that will play, top 4 team that will play, and maybe when Tamworth play Crewe.
Yeah, but they're still only playing a Division 1 team there, by the way.
Yeah, I think from previous shows we can see that Lancashire are in a bit of turmoil. As we
breaking news.
breaking news.
No, they've had a new head coach in for a few weeks and things. You know what I mean?
But I think, to be fair, even in his defence, I think he was playing quarterback in the third quarter. From my understanding, their starting quarterback quit football after the first quarter. Like, put something on Instagram saying he's completely quit football altogether. So he had a rough day, I think.
Their starting quarterback done that.
Yeah, I think so. Just absolutely quit football, from my understanding. Yeah, absolutely just wrote off football. And then
done that where did he do that? I need to find
on his Instagram, I think. I can't remember. Someone sent it to me. And then their backup was their wide receiver. He was their good wide receiver, and I think he got injured. And then their head coach came on and played quarterback. Now, Jack Watson, great guy. Don't think he's a quarterback. No disrespect to him.
So where did he put this?
I don't know his name, so I don't know who he is to.
What we're talking about the Wolverines quarterback, yeah?
Yeah.
Nathan Baker.
But I think so, yeah. To my understanding,
he's not going to quit football. He's a good lad. Nathan, I'll take it, son, next year, son, if you want to come.
Jack threw a couple of beauties, to be honest. I know, I love Jack. So interesting fact, we have a new QB at Sandwell. This breaks my absolute heart. This absolutely breaks my heart. So this means the Tristan Varney reign is over. Tristan Varney's. I know, everyone who's ever watched any part of this show knows I've got a man crush on Tristan Varney. Everyone knows, it's just fact.
Tristan Varney.
I know. The amount of times I've messaged him to come on and he's just like, he's almost like, what are you doing? Keep messaging me. It's getting weird now. Why are you outside my house?
Tristan, come in.
That probably explains why Sandwell struggled to get a little bit going as well, which is really interesting. Obviously, new team. Again, probably going back to Tamworth, the same, horrible off-season for them, in more ways than we can all imagine. So I'm imagining they're just bedding in a starting team as well. So I think, as we can probably see, there's some teams that adapted, some teams that didn't. Just having a look at any other scores that jumped out to you.
Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. The first game, it's like a pre-season. No one's had a pre-season.
No. I think you can't put into any kind of sense what 2 years away from football will do. I'm pretty sure people will have been leaving 100%, not coming back to the game. By the way, tag your mates because we're on 95 viewers right now. It'll be the first time just me and you have got over 100 views on our own. So thanks everyone for watching along. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Last time was when people have just left.
People was like, "Oh, you're so close. We're leaving." Bye. 93.
I do that every time. When you see people on like 1,000, like, "Oh, join! Like, we've got 1,000 watchers now, 1,000, 1,000 likes." I just So let's go through some of these games. So London Blitz B versus Oxford Saints. London Blitz B 16-12. I don't think there's any surprise
this
there,
one.
is there?
There is. I called that the other way. I did. I called Oxford to win, but then Oxford used to be like unreal, didn't they? Like Oxford had a time when they went through with they were actually just doing really well, but Blitz B in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the thing you've got with the Blitz B is you're always going to have people coming up from their under-19, so they're not going to have the drop off the same as other teams will be. Interesting facts about James Robson: likes maple syrup on his pancakes. Excellent recommendation of Step 1 boxer shorts for the bigger man playing American football. Yes. If you do play American football and you're a slightly larger chap, invest the £15 in a pair of Step 1 boxer shorts. Thank James Robson. use code #James Robson in there. I'm sure you get discount.
You get no discount.
99% sure. And he burns like a crisp in the sun.
He does.
Yeah, Hertfordshire Cheetahs, Wembley Stallions 7-19. Wembley win. No surprises there. I have a soft spot for Hart more than anything, just because I liked what their offensive coordinator is doing with data and stuff. With him on the show, Will Acer, I think his name is. So
yeah, that was good,
yeah, he's one of those. So interesting scoreline there, and obviously Wembley go out and win there. I think that was their Armed Forces game, which was streamed. So go and take a look at that game. It's good. So not only Raiders, Sheffield Giants absolutely romped them. Has to be expected. Prem team versus Div 1, 41-6. I think it was 41-0 at half time. So I'm assuming Sheffield just completely took the foot off the gas second half.
But yeah, but that means a running clock as well, isn't it? So
yeah. I didn't know this. So running clock is optional when given to the team who can take it, isn't it?
No.
So again, one of my understandings from the Titans game is Lancashire were offered the running clock and didn't take it.
Shut up, man.
Yeah. 43-0 down at half time, didn't take running clock.
Fair play at them, you know what I mean? Getting football, but I didn't think it was optional.
No, 43-0, Daniel. To my understanding, not optional. Stephen from the Nighthawks. So apparently, Lancashire declined it. It's interesting. I didn't think it was optional, but maybe you can say no.
I mean, maybe in this season when you haven't had any football anyways, you might just think, listen, just fucking play it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's either this or go sit back in the fucking house and do nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
It's one of them.
Especially his first game back. Terrell, I bet kids are glad back playing under 16s, 19s, the future of British American football.
You know what, right? We're gonna get onto that in a bit, because I went down to watch a game in Lincoln. So I drove from Newcastle down to Lincoln to watch a youth tournament, and some cracking teams there, like some really good teams. Like, it looks good. Like some teams have recruited well, some teams have been hit hard, but it's looking good. Like, future football is looking good.
Yeah, completely agree. Doncaster Mustangs 17, Humber Warhawks 24. That was a bit of a surprise for me.
Shock.
Because we spoke quite a bit about the Doncaster, and we'd heard they recruited well, and I know a couple of the Rams guys had went there. We spoke about that previously on previous shows, but then they get turned over.
Well, someone popped up to me the other week and said that Humber's really recruited well, so maybe they both have. Yeah. So fair play to them on that win. I wouldn't have picked that.
No, talked a lot pre-season. Got slapped first game. Interesting. Humber Warhawks kept quiet. Got the dub. What can we say? Done it. Step up. I don't like moaning about refs, but we had some calls against us that shouldn't have been called. We should have won 35-0. If my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle. Interesting.
What was the score in that game?
I can't remember. They won. I'm going to get to it in a minute, I think, actually.
So they won anyways, so it doesn't make a difference, really, does it? Let's be honest. 19-0.
It was just the difference between 19 and 35-0. Lancashire Titans already been over at 83-0. Halton Spartans versus Chester Romans. This is another interesting one. Shock for me. Apparently, Halton had 22, 23, 24 players, and then Chester turned up with 70 plus. And I think it was
to be fair, I knew they were going to have 70 plus guys. Because for some reason, I was invited into a Chester Romans group on Facebook a while ago. No idea why, but I was invited in. I enjoyed it. It was nice while I was there.
Yeah. I enjoyed stealing playbooks.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, that's a nice kit. Good bit of poster. We're going to pinch that. No,
they've got Chester excellent off-field game as
really,
well. Great media team.
Good comms and stuff as well. I like that by them. Yeah. But their coaches posting videos and things all the time. I just changed it and edited it and put my face over his. The green screen didn't work very well, but it was okay. You know what I mean?
It's okay. Well, yeah, interesting. Chester just beating Halton, and to my understanding, I've got a great story about this game. But
Jordan Dermott, that's where you're going, isn't it?
Jordan Dermott, 18 years old, scores the 2 points conversion to go up like 15,
He
14.
scored the
I think.
touchdown and the 2 point.
Yeah, to pretty much put them ahead with like a minute, and then I think Chester returned the touchdown. I think the bigger story of this is Jordan Dermott's 18. His brother Cameron is 21, 22. Both, I mean, Jordan, brilliant, 18, playing at senior level. But then everyone probably knows or doesn't know the dad, John Dermott, 53 years old, absolute legend of Britball, takes photos, first year in kit, plays for Halton, plays with his lads. You don't get any better than that, does it? Like,
how good's that, man? That he's played with his kids. Like, he's been on the same team as his kid. That is class. That's unbelievable.
I know Adam Cowley said he'd play football. He plays for the Rams and watches quite often. Adam Cowley said he always wanted to play football with his kid. But I think his body's given up on him. But maybe he'll make a return. But yeah, I can't believe it. That's amazing, isn't it?
Honestly, I said that to him. I was like, that's a dream. That, like, do you know what I mean? To be on the same team and stuff, and that's class. That unbelievable.
I'd be interested in anyone comment or tag people who dad and lads play together. Who knows? Maybe in 6, 7, 8 years' time, I might be able to play with Evan, but it's unlikely because my body won't hold up. And touch wood, he won't be playing in this country.
Yeah, to be fair, if Peyton's playing over here, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, something's gone seriously wrong. We touched on, so yeah, well done, Halton. I think 22, 23 guys to go and stuff it to a 70. I know they lost, but for me, that's like kind of one of those wins in the.
It's a little win, isn't it?
It's a little win, yeah. You hold your heads up after that. All credit to Chester, they still won the game. But Bournemouth 20, we already said that. Solent Thrashers beating Sussex Thunder 34-0. Shock for me.
Really?
I didn't see that. Yeah, I know Solent are a good team.
I had them scoring more.
Did you? I thought Sussex were a better team than that. I don't know why. I thought they were.
They're a good team. They're great media. If you want to share us the footage and stuff, I'd love it because they always do great videos and things. But
yeah.
I still had Solent winning by, I think I put them at 42 or something I picked.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like 42 zip, I had the score.
Yeah, fair enough. Good result. East Essex Sabres beat the East Kent Mavericks on nice Essex kind of down south rivalry, 25-6. No surprises there, I don't think. Cornwall Monarchs 38 beating the best named team in the country, Jurassic Coast Raptors 38-12.
You know, I'm sure that's their first league win as the Monarchs as well, by the way, since changing from the Sharks. But, you know, I would have picked that. Like, right, so for me, if you're looking at that division, if Torby are doing well, the Sharks aren't because the players have gone there. If the Sharks are doing well, Torby aren't because the players have gone back there. And that's how it is, honestly.
I think that feeds into the next day. Torbay took in a 50 burger to zip against the Bristol Apache. Now, the Apache, are they their second team? Am I right saying?
Well, they're a team on their own, but they are still part of, I think it's the Pride setup that they've got. It's still the same thing, like with the Aztecs, Apache, Pride.
But the Aztecs are the Aztecs the second team or the Apache? I get confused.
The Aztecs, no, we're there. So who did they play? They played Apache, didn't they?
Yeah, Apache.
Apache, that's the second team, and then Aztecs is the first.
Yeah. Which, again, I told you, as soon as I get down south, it's not my speciality. We need to bring some from the south.
But that Bristol one's hard, man. Like, I've been there and I've played against them, and it's still hard. Like, I can't remember like which one's which.
Tamworth, we discussed. We beat the Falcons. Just interesting. Falcons, just to note, they look good. They've got their Americans. The defense looks solid. The Americans are allowed to play this year for whatever.
It looks like football. Do you know what I mean? It looks nice football. Like it's a good game to watch. It was a low scoring game, but it was nice to watch.
Yeah, Div 1 team running the Prem team. Oh, we've got time for that. Staffordshire, Sandwell, we've been through. Northampton, Nottingham Caesars. Again, Northampton, new team running Nottingham 14-6. I think it's a really good credit to them. Ipswich Cardinals 24.
Mate, you've flown over that game. They have just passed their associate. They have just passed their associate, and they are decent.
Yeah,
like very decent.
John's commented. John, the absolute was 54. Sorry, a year older than I took a year off you there. I feel every minute of my 54 years today, but I'll be back next week against the Titans. I mean, he's a tough bloke anyway, so I'm not too bothered. I wouldn't want to see John in a dark room. So
I love John, mate. Honestly, John will give it just as good as he freaking gets on that field. I'm telling you now.
I know, yeah, I know. I can't wait.
And if he doesn't, he kick the shit out of you afterwards, so it doesn't make a difference.
I know, yeah. Fair enough. So Northants, Nottingham Caesars. Go on. So you just
Northants, man. I think they're a team to watch. Honestly, like they are a team to watch. Like,
do you think that's a reflection of Northants or Nottingham just being this? Why are Nottingham?
No, that's
not there?
Northants. That's Northants. It's not that Nottingham aren't that good. It's Northants. I'm telling you now. Like they played. There's two teams coming into the league, right? That we're gonna see this year. Northants is one that we need to watch out for, and Scunthorpe Alphas are the other.
Yeah.
They're the two teams I think that is going to upset a lot of people this year.
Yeah, Scunthorpe. I think we've seen enough to see that. But yeah, Northants, credit to you. But always the proverbial thing: Nottingham. Why aren't they better? Like, where do their recruitment? Why do they not recruit better from the two uni teams? Is it because they go to Tamworth, or I don't know? It's difficult.
Yeah, they go to Tamworth.
Yeah. Ipswich Cardinals 24, Ouse Valley Eagles 3. So not too much of anything out of the ordinary there. Kind of expected. Ouse Valley are either good or not, and looks like this year they're not. And then final one, Blitz beat Kent 9-7. I don't think we missed anything off there.
I don't think we have. I think we've talked like everything.
Did anyone else play in that Darlington division? That North Mercer?
No. We all went to watch though.
Yeah.
Everyone went to watch. So we were still on the sideline with people from the Vikings, and then there was other people there as well. Like it was a good laugh.
Yeah,
it was a good game.
Good stuff. Right, good.
A lot of shit getting flung. Let's be honest.
Shit being.
Yeah, I told them I'm lining up a receiver to the Vikings, and they're like, "Really?" I was like, "No, I'm not."
I've got a big shout out. So we're going to go on to some ballers of the week. So again, moving forward, if your mate's had a spectacular game, and you want to give him a shout out, or you've seen a player on the opposing team, like I said, you have to give us a message because we can't be at every game. But just drop us a message. So we have had one message in the inbox. So I'm going to give this guy a shout out. Give me 2 seconds. So this is from the Nottingham Caesars, who, interestingly, their rookie running back rushed for 147 yards from 16 carries and a 2-point conversion. So thanks for the Nottingham Caesars for giving us some information there. Interesting fact as well, the starting QB went down at the start of the second, so we brought on 20-year-old Liam McGovern, but went run heavy. Team rushes went for 38 rushes for 228 yards. Northants will walk Division 2 next year.
Is that what they've said?
Yeah. That's from Nottingham Caesars, so fair play. So
I know there's a few teams that have got something to say about that, pal, but okay. Right? No,
yeah, well, to be fair, we've just agreed, to be fair, if they're going to Div 2. Chris Peel shouting out 2 of his players today. So Lucas and Adam, both from the Manchester Titans. Adam, wide receiver. Lucas, just a big mauling left tackle. So, yeah, again, moving forward week by week, if you want us to shout out some guys, I'm sure there's some good players who are going to be missing out. But, yeah, so for that, just shout out your players. But I think we're going to bring in our first guest of the evening, aren't we?
We are, mate. We are.
Yeah. So
I'm a bit frozen my screen, so you will have to do it.
Hopefully he's ready for us. But Darren, how are we doing, my man?
How we doing, Mike? All good. How are you, Adam?
Yeah. I think Adam's he's a bit slow in life.
How's it going? Sorry, mate. I'm lagging all over the place. I don't know what the hell's going on.
And if anyone needs translations, don't worry, they are both from the northeast. It's okay. I'll do my best.
If you watch it on Facebook, there should be subtitles going across the bottom of the screen now, actually. I'll set that up. So.
Yeah. All it comes across the bottom, I think.
We're not that bad, are we? It's just Adam. He's a Geordie, not me.
So Darren, obviously, I'm right in saying, I don't want to get this wrong, head coach of the Darlington team.
That's correct.
Yeah. So first full game yesterday. As a team, obviously this is your
first win.
First win. Sorry.
Yeah,
First win.
we were in the 2019 season. We did the associate in 2018. So yeah, we've had a few games under our belts now, but finally got that the elusive win landed. So happy days.
Yeah.
So talk
It
us through
looked
it.
good as well, man.
I mean, a lot of work's been put in. I mean, over COVID was a nightmare for everybody. Do you know what I mean? But we recruit quite well. So we put on some rookie days, and we have like what we have as rookie development programs now. So you normally do the rookie days. You get a ton of people come down, and about 3 maximum out of about 50 will stay. Yeah. But this time, because we're doing the programs, we bed them in to get them comfortable, kind of thing. It seems to work. But we managed to recruit a lot of people from uni teams that they haven't been able to play that last season because of the COVID thing, and then they've jumped straight onto a team because they've got that hunger for games as soon as possible, or at least to be around a team again. And we recruited really, really well. So we got loads from the Cougars. A lot of them come from there. And then
that's Teesside for everyone.
That is, that's Teesside, yeah. And then we signed a couple of players from your lot over at Gateshead. A couple come down from the Vikings. And then, thankfully, we're a stone's throw away from Patrick Garrison. So, you've got a lot of people come from all over the country that have played for other teams. Like we've got some people from Ipswich, some people from Bristol, some people from Liverpool. So we've managed to kind of get a good catchment area going. So we've recruited really well. So we had like 55 players there yesterday, but we've got 66 registered on the roster. So we're doing quite well. So seeing us through the season will be sound.
Yeah, good. That's the most important thing in it starting up. And I know you've been going at it for a little while now. But do you think that was the key to getting the win yesterday, or you just wanted it more? What was the key?
I think the key for us, to be honest, was it's the depth we've got, but it's not just depth; it's strength and depth. So we don't have like first string, second string. We look at it as waves, or that's what our defensive coordinator calls it anyway. But people get a lot of good game time under the belts, but even in training, they get a lot of good reps. It's not just against what you say the lesser players or the newer players are actually getting in amongst it and learning well. So when it comes to the game yesterday, we had them as mentally and physically ready as possible. Yeah, which I think is what helped them, because the mental toughness is a hard bit, obviously, when you're going into your first game, but they managed to withstand it quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it must have helped that your ex-quarterback lined up for DC. Because you just teed off on him, by the way.
Bit of inspiration.
He was like a ragdoll, mate.
I mean, Mark's a good lad. He left us under a little bit of a cloud. There was a question he wanted to be quarterback, which I told him. I'll be honest with you about the conversation. I had a conversation with him, and it just wasn't working. The 2019 season, he struggled, and there was no progression. So I had to be honest with him, because I think that's my duty as a coach, to put people in the best positions to succeed. And we were hitting a brick wall. And I told him, and then a minute later, he put a transfer request into DC. Didn't say goodbye to anybody. There was nothing. He just went. So he's DC put him in, and I just thought he put a lamp of slaughter here. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. The defense it was a target. But there was no targeting. I will say that.
No, there wasn't. No, it was all fair hits. I mean, from someone that was watching the game, I felt you controlled every aspect of the game. Like when you were driving one way, you were setting them up on different players and things, and it was really good. Like the way that you structured, the way that you took your drives. And I thought your quarterback played well. I thought your quarterback played really well. Like we were over with some Teesside guys, and I'm assuming he was a Teesside guy also.
Luke was, he's our second.
I was having a conversation that he's your second string quarterback, because he threw up that little corner that you scored on as well, and I thought that was a very pretty ball, and all the Teesside guys turned and looked at each other and went, "He never friggin' done that for us." And I was like, "That's a good ball." I was like, "User played him at the wrong position. Like they found, User found his position as far as I'm concerned." So I was impressed with the way he's went.
he hasn't been with us long, but we had a scrimmage. We managed to get a couple of refs down, just so the players can get used to the rules and the fact that refs will throw flags here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? But they've got to get used to that. And we've done a little scrimmage, and we put him in, and it was his poise and his composure. Is we went right. We've got one. You know, we have one here. But yeah, at the minute he's our number 2. We've got our former defensive captain is our other quarterback, and he put a couple of touchdowns in, which that's the other thing for us. In that 2019 season, we had no passing touchdowns, like not one. They were all running touchdowns. So we needed to one of our focuses was obviously, as any team would, is to let's get some more diversity into the team, into the game, because otherwise we're just going to become so one-dimensional. It's going to be too easy to stop, you know. And we were too easy to stop. So we put a lot of work into it. I mean, we've got a new OC now who's doing an absolute amazing job, simplifying the game for people in the way he teaches. He's a teacher by profession, but he's doing an amazing job with them. You know, I wanted to change the way we did things, slow drives, burning the clock, keeping our defense fresh, because our defense is our strong point. But we kept them fresh, and it was evident in the game yesterday. They were, like you've said, they were just hungry and controlled the line of scrimmage. Yeah. You know, I think DC got 3 first downs, 2 were because of penalties, and the third one was just a QB basically scrambling for his life, I think. Yeah. You know, but yeah, they're doing awesome.
For me, watching the game, I think OC needs to get a lot of credit as well, because I thought he managed the game and his play calls perfectly. Like, he baited them into so many mistakes that you were expecting to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I liked there was one drive in particular where he's run your little, so it was like an outside run play, and then he's baited it and came back to the screen the other side, and they didn't have a clue, and that could have went for another touchdown, if I'm honest. So I think I think he's looking very good. Very, very good.
To be fair, chaps, I think you two are getting on very well. And I'm just going to put a spanner in works. I know the next game for Darlington is against Gateshead, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
18th of July. Right, so cards on the table, lads. What we thinking? I'll leave you two.
Go on, Go on, Adam, go for it.
You want me to call it?
Yeah, it's on you.
You go predictions.
You go first, all right.
Fuck's sake.
Have you guys played before?
Once an associate.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
We played an associate and Gateshead won, obviously. We had a good game that day. We managed to get points on the board. I think it was 3 touchdowns we got on yous, which was amazing for us because, you know, being as shiny new as we were. Yeah. But I don't know how you've strengthened. You know what I mean?
I think he'll score. I definitely think he'll score against Gateshead, and I think Gateshead will struggle to score against. No, I mean, Gateshead have run the same offense for years. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'll be well ready for that. And it's
stack 10 in the box then.
For me, you know what it is. I think it'll be. That's what it is. That's the fucking off. If you're playing even stack the box against Gateshead, everyone knows it.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah, I know.
I know either. But I think we've got some good additions. I think the game's going to be closer than what people think, if I'm honest. And I think, I don't know, if you get Mikey firing on that fucking fullback plays, I'll shit myself. But it's one of them. You've got a few ex-lads, you've got a few of my old youth and junior players, and I'm not calling it. Because that's called it in the box there. There you go.
That's called it. Senators for the win, guys. But good game. Darren, what's your thoughts?
Yes.
Obviously, you're not going to. I won't put you under the pressure of calling the game because you've got a game plan. Right. What's your thoughts on going into the game?
You make me call it.
I mean, watching you squirm was brilliant. So go on, Darren.
What was it just? No, I think it's going to be a close. I think it's going to be a hard hitting game. You know, I think our game on Sunday was evident that we're a hard hitting team. But so Gateshead, they always have been. You know, they're looking to smack us in the mouth. I can just see it. But you know,
there's only one person I want to smack in the mouth on your team. There's only one person I want to smack in the mouth, and that's number 1 for gobbing off after the game. That's the only thing I want to do. I'm going to crack him, and I'll be like, right, I'm done for the day, boys. See you later. I'll go back to
I'm sure Woody will be stood there waiting. He's like that. He's just so excited. You know what I mean? He's like a big kid. He's
like a Jack Russell. He's like a fucking Jack Russell.
Yeah, he is. Well, he was at Woodham for years with their youth team over with Ketchy and John Tate. You know what I mean? He's been doing it since he was a nipper. But yeah, he's a bit untapped, but he's our untapped guy. You know what I mean? So
nice to have.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He was a good lad, like.
Yeah, he's as nice as it comes. You know what I mean? He's one of those though. We have a lot of players who are nice lads off the pitch. You put them on the pitch and they just change. It's just weird. It's like, they just go like that. I mean, one person just commented that I wouldn't bet against the Davies boys, which are our two DNs.
That's
Yeah.
You know what it is? I coached one of them. I coached one of them at junior level, and mate, I don't want to play against them. I don't want to play against kids that I've coached. You know what I mean? That are now blokes. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when
young lion teaching old lion now.
Mate, that's what it is. They kick the shit out of us. I know that. Like, it doesn't make the difference for me. But you know what it is? I remember when you had your associate game with Gateshead, and I got my picture with the players that I had that were part of my junior team that then went to use, and it's it's just.
It's good. It's good. Good bit of rivalry. I'll tell you what. I'll definitely be tuning into that one as much as possible. So make sure at least one of the teams is sharing it.
Mate, you've been playing. You've been playing it. Shut up.
Yeah. Don't tell him about it. Yeah, that's it. I've transferred up to Gateshead. No, it was. I did train.
Yeah, no one knows
this. A couple of weeks ago. No. I trained Gateshead a couple of weeks ago. It was class. Actually, it's funny. It's good funny. Yeah, James Robson. He got a couple of pancakes on him after he just wanted to tee off the whole time.
Look, Mikey's commented straight away. Don't make me kid on the protect. I knew Mikey. Right, Mikey is a guy that I absolutely love. By the way, right. So I'm just gonna give you a quick little rundown. Mikey was a long-time Gateshead player. Lives in Darlington. Obviously, when the Steam got up and running, he's gone down to them guys. We've got an award that we give out to our kids named after Mikey. So like, we love him. He can be a Darlington Steam player all he wants, and that we love him a bit. This is why there's like with Darlington and us, there's a rivalry, but I still love all the guys. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I mean. Darren, get on. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got no.
It's a friendly rivalry, isn't it? At the end of the day, it comes to game day, might be a bit different, but off the field, you know what I mean.
Like it, Darren.
Yeah, I've got a feeling someone's gonna call us a knob.
Yeah, Darren's your mate until he tees off against you in the next game.
That's what it is.
Darren, absolute pleasure to having you on, and congratulations on your first win, mate. Look,
Darren,
keep
do
us
the
posted
favor before you go. You go, if someone wants to join the Darlington Steam, how do they get in touch?
Yeah.
Through our Facebook page. We've got one on Instagram as well. Or you just email us at hello@darlingtonsteam.com.
Brilliant. Darren, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck with the rest of the season. Congrats on the first
Thank you very much.
And the passing touchdowns.
Apart from next game.
Go beat the Senators.
Yes, we'll do it. Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Bye now.
Cheers, Darren.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Oh, brilliant. So brilliant to have any again, if you guys have got a good result, tag us and bring your head coaches on. We want to have a chat with you. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do, to bring light to you wonderful people who play this excellent game. So just let us know and we'll do our best to get them on as much as possible. I love watching you squirm there, big dog. Funny that.
Mate, you know what it is, right? Like I said, I don't normally have anything to do with the adult team. I say this all the freaking time. You came to train the other week and you've seen I train away from the adult team. Like, I don't have nothing to do with them. So when you're making this pick, I'm like, oh, for God's sake. Like,
yeah, good. I haven't loved that since. Good one, Jordan. Yeah, to be fair, I had a good experience on my Gate. Said it was brilliant to train with those guys. I not really talked about it, but I took my little lad up to train with Adam. He's pretty good at QB coaching. So I took him up, and then whilst I was there, he ended up joining in, as you do, with our scrimmage, which was really interesting, actually. So it was good fun. Good to see what those guys. Obviously, I had a bit of a target on my back, I think, because I was the Prem guy going up to that. So, but I think it was all right. I think I held my own a little bit.
I think you did, mate. I think you done all right, didn't you?
Yeah, it was all right. Look, what was the chirpy little Aussie linebacker? Was he Aussie?
He was Aussie, yeah.
Yeah.
Lachlan.
He kept coming. Yeah, it kept coming down into the hole. He stopped doing it after a while. I don't know why. I think it's when one of your coaches screamed at him after it just pancaked him. What did he say? He said he'll put you back on the plane back to Australia. You don't need to go there because Mike's just sent you home anyway. This is one of my favourite things. We should have asked. Yeah,
we've not picked them yet. Oh, that right. So I'm going to tell you now who mine was in the Dalton's team game. I don't know who they've picked.
That's a good idea, yeah.
But for me, they've got a outside receiver, right? I can't remember his name. I can't even remember his number. He scored there 2 touchdowns anyways, and he was getting clearance every time. Go on their Facebook page. Wait, I'll get it. I'll get his name right there. But he was a hell of a player anyways.
Yeah, we're going to try and do our best to stay plugged in. We do want to have like a Britballin MVP for the year, and we'll get some sort of award. Healy, I think he's called.
Healy.
Yeah. We'll speak to EP Sports. So what we will do is we'll choose like an MVP for the season, and that player will get some sort of stash. And
it was Johnny Clark. It was Johnny Clark.
Johnny Clark. Yeah,
Johnny Clark. Yeah, really good player. Johnny Clark.
Yeah. So what we will do that. So we'll have like a end of year MVP. So we'll try and monitor that as much as possible. But whilst we're still waiting for people to get going and get playing, we'll keep that under wraps for now. But
I'll tell you what, right? That game, DC has a very good defensive lineman.
I know he's on all of their promo material. Big, massive guy. Looks like a unit.
Yeah. 99. Big guy. Raw, but big guy. He was. They basically everything that they scored, they just went away from him.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done.
So
anytime they went towards him, there was a tackle.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I say we're waiting for our next guest, but we can't wait for our next guest if I don't send them a link. So,
have you not sent them a link? Wow, that was
no.
fun. that was really fun. Robbie Bromden, are you playing this year, son? Like,
I'm not having recruitment going on my show.
I'm not recruiting. There we go. Number 99 was very quick and strong. He had a good game. He had a very good game. You know what it is, right? I found out this morning that one of DC's better players, I would say, experienced players, we'll say, got injured on the first drive. I think he broke his foot or something, but I didn't see it happen in the game. But he messaged us this morning, apologising to not because I didn't see him. Apologising that he didn't see us, but he broke his foot. I was like, mate, if you broke your foot, I think that's worse, mate. I think you're all right. Robbie, where are you playing that, mate?
I've got a couple of shouts for early MVP candidates. So these are people I've got my eye on so far. Sheffield Giants QB, Josh Admonson, I think he's called. He's early candidate for me. They put up 41 points. Again, it was not in the Rangers, but it is what it is. You've got to beat the team in front of you, and that was 41-0 at half time. They ended up winning 41-6. So I'm assuming Josh came out in that part. So he's an early one for me. I don't think you can look past the likes of Sam Bloomfield for the Manchester Titans when you put up 11 touchdowns. I think 9 of which came from offense. So I think Sam's probably got an early shout for there. And I want to say, again, I'm QB heavy, and I probably will be throughout all this. I think, like the NFL, QB is probably going to win this in the end. Leicester Falcons American QB did look good. And I do want to see more from Angus. You can't say MVP in this league without mentioning Angus.
What about Jordan Dermott?
Jordan Dermott, a young, in terms of if we was to do like young MVP, I think he's already got that locked up. I'm really intrigued with that guy. Looked class, 18. And again, if guys have no better players, Bristol Apache put on points, some of the big boys are coming back, tag them in, and we'll keep an eye on them, and any stats that we can get together and stuff to present this case. But end of the year, what we'll try and do is we'll present this guy with a Britballin MVP, and they'll get some sort of stash from EP Sports, some boots, something. We'll sort something out for them. EP Sports can get their hand in the grubby pockets and sort us out. But if you are into the sport and you need some stash, do go over to our sponsor EP Sports. Check them out. They've got loads of good stuff. I was actually in the store the other day. So, yeah, really good
I was there
partner
today.
of ours. Was you? Humble brag.
I was.
So I've just
getting some leg sets ordered.
Fair enough. Right. So, game of the week. Are you happy that the Britballin big game of the week was Kent v Blitz in terms of it being close and
I'm happy with that. I think that's a good game.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll wait for the Kent guys to join us. The only thing what we've got to do after this is we're going to do our power rankings. So do stay with us through the next interview. We're going to do some power rankings. We might need some help as well because we're going to try and do 20.
And then when we finish the show, I've got to go off and I've got a meeting with Baffa to try and sort out our division of football because the team's pulled out. So, yeah. At youth level.
Youth level. So we're still waiting for a couple of others to join us for that. So we're kind of just killing time, really. Have you got any key takeaways from week 1? Anything that jumped out for you or anything you're looking forward to? And I'll tell you what we'll do. Well, power rankings are coming up at the end of the show. We'll leave that to the end of the show to tease you and keep it going. What we'll do is we'll have a quick preview whilst we're waiting for the rest of our guests for week 2, if that's all right with you. I'm going to run through some of the games.
It's not.
From you up.
Grand Lord, what have I missed? Well, nearly an hour of the show, mate. That's what you've missed.
Grant,
but
what
don't
you
worry. You can watch it back on YouTube or Facebook.
And we did read out your running back. So Grant was the one who messaged us. So thanks very much for messaging us, Grant. Yeah. So whilst we're waiting for a couple more to join, Adam, snapshot. So I can't see anything. So I'm just looking at my other screen. Oxford Saints v Hearts Cheaters. Who have we got on that one? I think Hearts are going to win that one. I think.
Yeah.
Oh. Your video's gone off, but you think Hearts?
We're there. I'm going to have to leave and come back in because this is ruining me.
Okay, you go. And then what I'm going to do is just me, guys. John, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
I'm very good, mate. Because Adam's gone, I've brought you into the stream earlier. What you're going to do is you're going to join me and we're going to pick some wins and losses. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, cool.
Looking at week 2? Cool, let's go. So, Oxford Saints, Hearts Cheaters. I'm going to lean on you here being the South expert. Who have you got?
I'd go with Hearts, I think. I think they've been building for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. That I agree. Adam, are you back with us?
I think so. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm here.
We'll stay with it. Sheffield Giants v Yorkshire Rams. I'm going to go out. Sheffield beat the Yorkshire Rams there. Adam?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, I'll follow you guys with that one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Don't worry. You've got the South. We got the North. Don't worry about that, John. I'll leave the South ones to you. You can pick them. Hull and Manchester. That's going to be Manchester, isn't it? Merseyside, Chester. Merseyside should win that, right? They should comfortably beat Chester there. You would think a Prem team. Bournemouth Bobcats versus Rushmore Knights.
So Rushmore is Farnham from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Rebirthed as always really, really tough. A big, strong running game. They gave us 2 really tough games 2019. And if their O-line goes back, that is their strength. A couple of GB, I think, offensive linemen, they've still got them. And a big running back. So I'd have to go with them, I think.
Perfect. Guys, welcome to the show. Coach Neo, Adam Lillis. Just so you know, guys, we're just running through next week's fixtures, getting some predictions, whether we think who's going to win. So feel free to join in, and then we'll go through Kent's unbelievable performance yesterday in a little bit more detail after that. Adam seems to have left. I don't know if Adam's done something to upset Adam, or they can only have one Adam on the show. I don't know, but welcome to the show, guys. Anyway, thanks for joining us. No worries. So Cornwall Monarchs v Chorley Trojans. I think based on previous weeks, I think should be a Cornwall win, that shouldn't it?
No idea.
No idea. Nothing from the south.
Cornwall.
You going for Nice one. So Crew Railroaders v Sandwell Steelers. That's a little bit more up north. I think Sandwell are going to. The Prem team should beat a Div 2 team there. We should think, as we always say on this show for this year. Pray for Crew with the division they're in. Leicester Falcons v Shropshire Resolution. Leicester should win with their Americans. Shropshire, whilst they're always a decent competitive team. Anyone got anything else other than Leicester there? No, silence there. I agree. I think we're pretty clear on that. Lincolnshire Bombers versus Nottingham Caesars. Any takes on that one?
Nottingham, I'd suggest.
Nottingham should win there, shouldn't they? Really, yeah, good point. Norwich Devils versus Ouse Valley Eagles. Down south, I'm relying on you guys here. We all know down south's my weakness.
That might be quite close. Norwich, I think, started up a couple of years ago, but they seem to have a big program down there. And Ouse bounced along the last couple of years, not particularly great. So that might be quite close.
Yeah, it should be. The other ones are up north. They're a pretty big rivalry. One, Gateshead Senators versus Northumberland Vikings. I don't know why they're not all just one team, but Northumberland should win that. And then a couple in the 7. Anyway, right, that's enough of predictions. We've got 3 of the most established Kent legends on the show. How are we all doing, guys? John, Adam, Neo, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for joining us. How are we all doing?
Good, thanks.
Good.
We're good. We're good. Just spent the last. We have a 24-hour rule down there, so we're allowed to talk about the game for 24 hours, and then we move on to next practice Wednesday. So we're just about clocking around 24 hours. So you just caught us.
I just got you at the right time. Otherwise, this would be a really quiet conversation. This, wouldn't it? Yeah, we can't talk about it. Yeah, it was a game. Can't talk about it much. So I've got John's head coach, Adam, offensive coordinator, and coach Neo, defensive coordinator. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm pretty sure, Neo, I recognise you. Were you previously Olympians? Is that right?
Yeah, I was previously the Olympians head coach.
Yeah, perfect. And you obviously...
I was with them after they were relegated. I came on board. I was always a coach with them, and obviously a former player. Joined back with them, I think it was 2017. They were relegated down to Division 1, got them promoted, and had a couple successful kind of mid-table seasons, and then decided I wanted to kind of move on, as you will.
Yeah, fair enough. No, and seems to be a successful move on by the sounds of things. So Adam, obviously the offensive coordinator there, seems to be a bit fuzzy. I don't know if you can hear us and you're still with us. Or you're very still anyway. I don't know if he is on your screen, but he is on mine.
Yeah, I think he's probably up for the minute.
Yeah. Hopefully the offense weren't like that yesterday by the sounds of it. And John, obviously head coach, talk to us about the result yesterday. Now, you guys, hopefully it won't be a surprise on the result. You guys have worked for a long time, and Kent have got a fantastic youth set up, and you know, I see Kent as like the Manchester of down south and vice versa. It's all encompassing, always going to be growing as a team. So I'm hopeful. Well, I'm glad to see you guys finally taking that step towards challenging the big London teams. Talk to us about the game, just so we can all understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, right. So you're absolutely right. This is our second year in the Premiership. First one in 2019. I think we went 3-7. 2 victories over Bristol and 1 over Farnham, now Rushmore, and then we were prepping for the next season, and then COVID came along, and once there was a bit of a roadmap out of lockdown, we pretty much decided right from then to make best use of the time we were given, because the next stage for us was to not just survive in the Premiership, but to compete with, those established teams in the Southern Premiership. It's been the same 4 or 5 teams, 6 teams for a long time. Generally, a team goes up and bounces back down, and trying to displace the established hierarchy of the Warriors, the Blitz, Olympians, Farnham. We're in there for a long time. Big challenge. So Sorry, it's my dog. Real life. We kind of set about changing the culture of the team, bringing in, setting the standards a little bit higher for everybody, for coaches. We recruited some great coaches, Coach Neo, Coach Adam, and there's a whole host of really experienced coaches behind those two guys. And that assisted with bringing in players. And we've just literally worked non-stop. Coach Adam used his contacts from the college game in the summer. We had dozens. Of clinics from US colleges, and just basically set about learning. And a lot of the players joined in, and they wanted to be part of that. While they couldn't get out in the field. And I think once we kind of showed some of the better athletes in our area what we were doing, they were attracted by the coaches, by the setup. And it all culminated in the first time back on the field yesterday. So whilst we've worked and worked, like probably a lot of teams, we didn't know where we were. Been unable to scrimmage. We played against each other, offense and defense, for a long time, many weeks. But yesterday we went out, and I think we surprised a lot of Britball community. Really. I'm going to hand over to Neo and go and kill my dog, and then I'll be back.
Yeah, Neo. So no worries, John.
I'm not really going to kill my dog for dog lovers out there.
It's fine.
Yes, he is. He is.
He's going to do it. I can see it. He's just looks like one, doesn't it? A dog killer. Neo. So obviously, keeping the blitz to 9 points, no easy feat. Everyone knows enough about the blitz to know, regardless of what year, whatever year, they're going to be a good team. Was it they wasn't as good as you expected, or the defense just balled out? Was you recruited well? What happened?
I would actually say, surprisingly enough, they were, I'd say, either slightly better than I thought that they would be the first game, or at least where we saw them last, kind of whilst they were actively playing. So I'd say I was surprised somewhat that their first game. The hope was to kind of catch them hopefully sleeping a little bit, and especially with some of the pundits kind of believing that Kent were going to be possibly the whooping boys of what is, nobody can deny, a really tough division.
Yeah,
so I was kind of hoping that potentially that they could underestimate us, but they definitely came out to play. But I think, as Coach John already started saying, I think all the time and effort that we put into developing these guys over this kind of COVID period, and when we were eventually allowed back onto the field, everybody is really, really kind of bought into what is we've labeled it the change of the narrative. So when we went out to play, and there's always this kind of fear in the back of your mind that, are we really at the level that you think that we could be? We're seeing these things every week in practice, but you're never going to know until you actually go out there and face another opponent. And as you said, without having to have a pre-season friendly, we were kind of just thrown in there. So, and I was just really pleased that the guys, they just automatically started swimming. They did everything that we've been asked of them, and the guys really came out to fight, and like I said, you never really know until you get thrown in there, and the guys were thankfully they were ready. They did well.
And I can imagine just from hearing that, as a true defensive coordinator, the thought of being the whipping boys of that division and the Britball community, I know there's going to be a chip on someone's shoulder in that team, and I'm assuming for you guys it's just paid off, and you've just said, look, you've got two choices: look, you can be those whipping boys, or you can go out and put on a show. And I was following it closely because I think you guys were up for a long period of time, and I wanted you guys to win because why not? It's the Blitz. I'd rather you guys win. So no, I just say, I speak on behalf of the Britball community. We was all very impressed with the score, and I don't think that's a case of catching them cold. Like you said, that's a case of you guys working in the off season and seeing that as an extended off season. So all credit to you guys both defensively. I'll try and bring in Adam here for offense if he's still with us. He's persevering with the internet. I know he's having real troubles. Can you hear us, Adam?
I don't think he's here.
So, John, over to yourself in terms of offense. What any big changes this year, or was it just a case of just back to usual and just having that time and clicking and seeing how it works?
No, it was a wholesale change. With for the last couple of years, I've been doubled up as the OC and the head coach, and then Adam was a player and retired, a little bit forced by me because we wanted him as the OC. For anyone down south that knows Coach Adam and Coach Neo, they're two really, really detailed, exceptional coaches, and they've made my life very easy. And Adam, they both brought in brand new offense and defense. So Adam's offense is brand new. There was a lot of learning. It's a signal-based offense. So completely new schemes across the board for both sides of the ball. And we've retained a lot of players, and so I think the players were enthused by that. I think it was literally an opportunity to brand new piece of paper, if you like, come in with two updated schemes more suitable for the Premiership.
Yeah,
we had the same schemes coming up as we've come from Division 2 to Division 1 to the Premiership. We kind of kept some schemes and just built them every year. So we started afresh, and Adam's offense is, it's very, very open, a lot of passing concept. We've got a great young quarterback, James Cook, and another couple of guys behind him. And we've recruited really well as well. Athletes, Coach Neo has mystical powers in recruitment down south. For anyone, people are going, yeah, we all know Coach Neo.
I've heard good things. I was going to say, the two coaches you mentioned there, Neo and Adam, it's always a testament that we know them up north. That's the key. Yeah. Do you know them up north? Has it travelled that far up? The same with, coaches down up north going down south. It's that kind of thing. Does the reputation extend past Nottingham?
I just want a Neo hat, me. I'm not even going to lie. I want the hat,
me. I'll sell them one day.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you, sell them. I'll buy one now, mate.
That was a shout out to Cole, Togs, Toby. They do our gear, and they were particularly keen to knock out a couple of Neo hats. It was part of the deal
to get him over. Yeah, that's fair enough.
It worked.
It worked, yeah. Honestly, you can get me one of those. It's not that far, Ken. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we can. I'll send you the link on your webpage for the guys that do our swag. So you can get one. You can get whatever you like put on it.
No, it's brilliant. So yeah. So I mean, obviously, fantastic result for you guys. Doesn't seem like it was too much of a surprise. You've worked hard, and the key thing is, your next game is the London Blitz again, isn't it? So. What changes have we got in mind? Not too much, obviously. You want to keep a lot underneath the Neo hat, but what changes have we got in mind? Can you see the path to victory next time, or do you think, honestly, do you think it was catching them off cold? What do we think?
I think if I jump in first now, I think the interesting thing is I know the Blitz have got a new OC as well, and so they came out in a slightly different scheme that we were expecting. Not that anyone had much to go on, and so I think both teams would be better prepared for each other because I spoke to Coach Damien Anderson, their head coach, beforehand, and neither of us could really scout each other because new coordinators in town. So I think there'll be that element to it. We've got the film up already, and the coaches have got that. Just to sort of kind of make it more difficult to stop the schemes we've got, and then you get that classic game of chess. But I think both teams will want to eliminate the natural errors that we saw yesterday. because it was literally no scrimmage time. So it was one of those games where a lot of mistakes. And so I think the key will be on reducing those, giving away first downs. I think the stats show the 7 first downs that the Blitz got, 4 of them were by penalty. So we need to eliminate that. And as the previous head coach said, getting used to the refs again and is a big thing, really.
Credit. That's unbelievable. So then technically that's 3 first downs, not by penalty all game. Neil, you got to be proud of that. I bet the boys are really, really G'd up about that one.
Yeah, we're still gonna, in effect, go back to, as Coach John said, what we were possibly expecting. We didn't see a lot of that because of the new OC. The Blitz came out very kind of run orientated. It took a little. I think it took a little while, especially with the guys being held back for so long during practice. Obviously, we didn't want to hurt each other during practice. So there's been, and with the COVID rules, there's been kind of limited contact. And I think that was, one of the biggest hurdles to get over. Now we've thrown them in there. We've been kind of making sure that everyone's been safe up until now. Now we're saying going out there and go to war. So one of the biggest things, and I saw the guys warming up over time, was, kind of getting over that hurdle and remembering, yes, I can do this. It's been a little while, but I can do this. I can throw my body in there, and I think that's pretty much one of the things that we would have to, that the guys will be a little bit more prepared for as the game starts. The next game, be ready to the contact level, I'd say, because the Blitz definitely did come out. Like I said, they went run heavy formations and try to run us off of the park, and we really had to was in a fight at sometimes to, and credit to the guys on defense and on offense as well. That we kind of really fought back under the pressure, and so that's one of the things I'm just going to go back, take a look at. So we'll be a little bit more prepared for what the formations that we're more likely to see based on compared to what we had thought could have possibly been. Yeah. So it's just a matter of just kind of regrouping, reanalyzing, and then going to work just as normal.
To be fair, I wouldn't want to give Coach Neo and Coach Lillis, another week or 2 weeks now to scout me after and see it. I would have, preferred to catch you guys cold. So, John, I bet you're over the moon with the fact that you now know what they've got. You know what you're going to see. You know it's going to be a little bit more run heavy. And you now got literally 2 weeks to work towards kind of shutting that down, aren't you, and picking the weaknesses moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. And I think I'm not sure there's any such thing as a good loss, but in some ways this was that, because the players, we've got them believing. I think the biggest difference that I would say between us and the 2019 team is that these coaches have got this group of players believing in themselves a lot more, and now they've actually seen that. Yesterday they saw that for their own eyes, that they could compete, they could hit as hard as the Blitz. The Blitz are a great team, great athletes, great coaches. But we didn't get the win, and so there's that carrot, and it's just down the road, and it's a lot closer than it's ever been for a lot of these guys. So, but we've
without
got to
having to move, you know what I mean? I say that with genuine, genuine. I can't remember the word I was going to say, but the fact that for a lot of your guys, in order to win down south, it's always been you need to go to one of those teams. Well, I bet it's nice to go. Well, actually, how about come to Kent? Because we can run the Blitz close, and fingers crossed you go out and beat them next time. Because why would we not want to see that? As mentioned previously, everyone likes the upset.
And I think that's exactly the point. That the bar line, if you like, of our culture change is changing the narrative, and that's part of it, is changing the narrative of the Blitz Warriors, dominance, and that exactly that is that if you want to play decent ball, you only go to one of those two teams, and that is key to us and what we're seeking to do. But it's a big ask because they're great teams, and we'd be forced to think that the London Blitz are not going to come back much harder in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, no, very much so. So, obviously, James Cook is going to be firmly on our MVP radar for the year after putting in, obviously, a stellar performance and I'm assuming leading the team at such a young age. But, Neo, have you got a special shout-out? I'm going to really restrict you to one defensive guy. I know any defensive coordinator, you'll probably say 6 names, but who was your MVP for yesterday? Or do you not do? If you don't do that, that's cool, because I know some coaches don't, but I don't mind if you give someone a bit of love.
So I won't list it as an MVP, but what I will say, is a young linebacker that I've been working with, and I think he's definitely a prospect for everyone to keep on the radar. As something a guy that's fast, strong. His name's Emmanuel Fasola. He's definitely, both in practice and games, definitely shows up, and he from the first time we met, and I was fortunate enough to, because I do a lot of kind of training sessions outside, track sessions, and he came down to one of these sessions and we talked, and I laid out kind of my roadmap for what I wanted to do, down at Kent. And he was the type of person that said, yeah, I'm going to come and take a look. And, the type of sessions that we were putting on at the time, after he came down, he was hooked. So as a young upcoming linebacker, definitely Emmanuel, he's definitely, a guy that I look to make a difference. And I get the younger guys to try to emulate in their way in terms of off the field preparation and on the field performance. So definitely for me, that's a guy to watch out for.
Yeah, brilliant. And John, I'll because Adam's not here, I'll put you under the same level of pressure, which will probably give a nice coaching answer like Neo did to avoid putting an MVP title on someone. But who have you got on offense?
Yeah, we just our MVPs. I asked our coaches beginning of the week, and then we announce them later on. So Neo's done us proud there. But offensively, yesterday, our O-line's literally been rebuilt from scratch. That's literally a whole new group. They did really well, because that's where it gets really tough in the Premiership in the South, is in the trenches. It's really tough to run the ball. Just because the linebackers like Emmanuel are so big and quick and fast, it's getting O-linemen of decent athletes that can get up into those guys is tough. We had a great game yesterday. Running back Andy Owusu, who recently joined us again, he's kind of been a great athlete, capable of playing at higher levels, and he likes what we're doing for this year. So. And a great supporting cast, really. Coach Adam's done a great job with the receivers. It was a tough call. It was a tough game, but I think Andy and Cookie stood out for me yesterday.
And from the Blitz perspective, is there anyone out of the usual names who really stood out for you guys, who you had a lot of respect for? And Neo on offense, is there anyone who you think he's a good player? And then same for you, John.
What I would say is they definitely had a good group of wide receivers. Unfortunately, I don't know the names to kind of push a name forward. But for me, I'd say the O-line as a whole, they really, they really was bringing it, on the day. And like Coach said, we've got some big, strong linebackers now on our team, and they were really, the O-line was coming after him, and it took like I said, it took the guys to really dig deep. Credit to the D line, because we've got some young D linemen that this was a step up in level for them, and they really kind of showed up against a tough, determined O-line. So if I was to say anything, I would say it was their O-line, although their wide receivers did stand out to me as a capable bunch. But their O-line, for me, they really showed up which has been they really kind of showed up to bring it to us.
Yeah, I think they're led by Ibs Ahmed. I think is one of their offensive linemen who's a very, very good player. So they have got some studs along the offensive line. It's a great shout, Neil. And John, anyone on defense from their perspective who you just think, I wouldn't mind having him?
Again, the defensive tackle 74. I think it's DJ who's been there for a couple of years. We know he's a great player. He's been a royal pain in our backsides ever since every time we played a blitz, and he was on form yesterday. And they had a great edge rusher wearing number 9 again. I don't know the names, the new players, but he caused our tackles problems. But so their front 7 is really, really strong. The linebackers, Joe Jebb, I know he was with the Exiles as junior and is now up at Nottingham University, and he's back down sort of playing for them for the summer. So they're really good, and they want to bring a lot of their schemes. So they'll just bring 4, rely on 4 rushers and drop 7 in, and that makes it really tough to pass against. So there's a lot of work we need to do, but it was a typical blitz team, athletes everywhere, great mentality. They never. I'm sure that there was some anguish on their sideline, perhaps seeing this new Kent Exiles team. But I give them credit because they never gave up either. And Coach Damien has put together a great team. So it'll be a really good game in 2 weeks' time, I would think.
Yeah, I think we're speak for the British community, American football community, and saying we really look forward to seeing that in a couple of weeks' time. And just personally, just go and beat them. We all always love to see it, don't we? And I'll say it. I've got a lot of friends who play for the Blitz, but I'd love to see you guys go and turn them over. And one thing I wanted to say as well, and it's testament to yourself, Johnny, bringing in the excellent coaches. But I think the Exiles are set up. It was always going to happen because you've set up an excellent foundation, haven't you? You've got the youth teams, you've got the junior teams, you've got the whole club community feel, and I do refer to it as kind of like the Manchester down south and vice versa, because you build it and they will come, won't they? And it's as simple as that, really. And I think you've built that. And I think, someone like Neil going over, you can probably see, well, actually, I'm going into a big program here. It's not the Blitz. It's not the Warriors, but there's a program who we can work with and make something. Whereas, no disrespect, but the Olympians maybe not have the history, but not that kind of wider setup. So I think the credit to all the backroom staff and everyone who's done that within that Kent community. So, credit to yourselves, and I think it's very much on note for the British American football community that Kent are on the rise, and I think we're all happy to see it. So thanks very much for joining us, guys. If anyone wants to get involved with Kent, just usual stuff, Facebook, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we got a Facebook page. Hit me up. I'm John Moore on Facebook, Instagram, social medias, or contact us at kentexiles.co.uk, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Guys, thanks very much for joining us.
Perfect.
Go beat the Blitz in 2 weeks. Adam, sorry you couldn't properly join us. Neil's got that smile on his face as if to say, no worries, I got you. Guys, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, James. Thanks so much.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Lovers out there, my dog isn't there.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, John. Thanks very much. Brilliant. So, again, fantastic result for Kent. And again, if you guys get a fantastic result next week, the week after, please drop us in their comments and let us know if your head coaches want to come on and join us, because we're all about making Britball great. Right, Adam's got 15 minutes. We promised power rankings. Let's get to it. I'm going to do my best.
Right, we're going to have to be quick.
It's okay. We can be quick. I was going to make an inappropriate joke there. Okay, so number 1.
Yeah, I know.
Should we go bottom first? No, let's go top first. Number 1. Can you disagree with the Warriors, even though they've not played?
No.
No, I can't. I can't do anything but put the Warriors there. Number 2, interesting. So previously, this has always been locked up by the Blitz or Tamworth, and or do we want to bring another team into it? That's your choice.
I think for week 1 so far, I think we just go with what we've seen. And I think you go after the results, I think you put Blitz in there still.
Blitz there. So you've got Blitz, Tamworth. Yeah, Casper's made an interesting point. 83-0. See,
Yeah, but that's not against like that caliber of opponent. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Yeah. A lot of people are calling for Titans at 2. Again, being heavily affiliated to that team, I would
And
like
you know
to
what?
see
Like
them go and
Casper, bigging up Exiles and all that. Casper, who'd you play for last season?
I kind of want to see. I don't know. I think it's
for me. It's Warriors then Blitz. Yeah, it is. It's Blitz.
Yeah, I think it is for now. As the season goes on, these are flexible. So then we got 3 and 4, Tamworth and.
I'm putting Kent there.
You're not putting Kent there.
I am. I'm putting Kent there, number 3.
No, they're not there yet. For the same reason, you can't slide the Titans down too far. You can't move the Titans up too much. It has to be Tamworth.
No, it doesn't. Because for me, it doesn't. I think you go Kent, then Tamworth and Titans, then Falcons.
I think Tamworth beat Kent a lot.
I don't.
Right now. Maybe not.
I don't.
But
I'm sticking with it. I'm saying Kent.
I can't. No.
Put it in the comments.
Well, you're gonna have. I think Tamworth and Titans both beat Kent right now. I think Tamworth and Titans both are very close with the with the Blitz. Warriors are out and out number 1. We'll give the Blitz because of history, less so. I get Titans have just beat Thingy 83-0. But we're talking about a Div 1, bottom Div 1 team probably.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not shading on Titans. I'm not shading on Tamworth. I'm just for week 1 right now. That's what I'm saying. This is going to change every week. Every week that we come on and do here, people are going to jump and change places. For now, that's what I will put it at. You can't knock that result. You cannot knock that result. And we'll see if it was just Blitz knocking off the Rust in a couple of weeks' time when they play each other. But for now, that's what I will go at.
Okay, I'll let you have it this week.
Thank you.
Made a valid point. I can't. We'll say it's split on that one. I think. I tell you what we'll do. I was going to be cheeky and do a joint third. Should we do a joint third?
No, you can't.
Okay. No? So what we doing fourth? Have you got Tamworth or Tamworth?
I've got Tamworth. I've got Tamworth. Then Titans.
I think Tamworth not performing against the Leicester Falcons, who are a Div 1 team. If we look at a Div 1 team, Falcons are a Div 1 team, and they've
but you can't tie. Right, you can't tie it there. Let's be honest. No, but we all know if Falcons should.
If you're a Prem team, Div 1. Yeah, but you're a Prem team. Go and put on a show against a Div 1 team. I know they're not, but if we're applying the logic of Kent are there because they played a Prem team and run them close.
Right. Okay, then. Right. Well, drop Tamworth under Titans then.
And that's the lowest I think Tamworth have been for a long time. But I suppose they didn't get the result they wanted week 1. The learning, the discovering, still not entirely. Yeah, I'm not. The Kent thing's not sitting well, but anyway, it is what it is.
For me, right now, that's what it is.
Okay.
I can't see any other way around it.
I'm gonna go with you. Right. Okay. So number 6. This is where it's going to start to get tough. So I like the Falcons at this point. Merseyside, obviously, a Prem team. Solent.
I'd put Falcons in there all day. Falcons.
Okay.
All day, every day, Falcons there.
Okay. 6. So then we're going to look. So I'm picking out Prem teams now. So we've got Olympians are still a Prem team in there. Is it Sandwell are still a Prem team in there? Nighthawks are still a Prem team in there. Edinburgh Wolves are still a Prem team in there who we've not seen this year. And is it Solent or a Prem team? Are they the Prem team now?
Yeah, they are. I'm
going to go Solent. I think Solent deserve that. I'm going to call that one. They beat a team. They've played a game. I like Solent. I think that's a good result for them. They can
you think Solent there with their game was that good enough win? Like I had them winning more. That's all I'm saying. Do you know what
I'm gonna drag some Prem teams up here so we know. So at least we've got the Prem team. I'm getting a bit confused with all these guys at the bottom. Sheffield Giants, Prem team. And I know this is not probably wholeheartedly fair because obviously Falcons are there on a Div 1 team. I'm just trying to pick.
Yeah, but this is just week 1, Sandwell.
Sandwell. And then it's Bristol. Okay, so where do you see these ranking between these?
So for me,
I think out of those last year, out of those teams, the Nighthawks are the best team there last year.
Nighthawks are better than those, yeah.
Nighthawks are better than those, I would say. Nighthawks.
So for me,
Sheffield.
for me, without playing a game, I'd go Nighthawks, and then I would probably go O's.
You got O's over Solent. Yeah, more established. I'll give you that one. And then
I'd go Solent.
Solent, okay. You could just. I like Sheffield.
Then I'd go Sheffield.
Yeah, I got Sheffield.
I'd go Sheffield.
Sandwell. And then I'll go Bristol and then Edinburgh.
Then Wolves. Yeah, that's what I would go.
Okay.
That's what I would have right now.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from you on that.
So bring your Div 1 teams up now.
I think Edinburgh, just because I'm concerned, I've heard things about Edinburgh not having a full roster this year and stuff. So I'm going to bring up EKP. You're going to have to help me out with some of these. Not
Vikings, Nottingham Caesars, Rushmore Knights, Oxford Saints, Lancashire Wolverines, Bournemouth Bobcat, Yorkshire Rams, Hertfordshire Cheetahs, Aberdeen Roughnecks, Glasgow.
I don't think any of these are threatening. Cheetahs. Maybe Wembley Stallions at a push.
No, not yet.
No. I can't see any of these. I'm just trying to think. Shropshire, maybe, but not seeing it enough yet. South Wales Warriors, no. Sussex got.
Right, you can stick Shropshire. You can put. I'd stick Sussex in that group.
Shropshire.
Definitely, Sussex.
Sussex
put them in that group, though, just so we can move this group around.
Okay. And then anyone, who's this? Clyde Valley?
Essex, I think, isn't it?
Our logo thing isn't very good. Chester, no, he didn't beat Halton by enough. These are interesting ones in the
They're a new team. They're a new team in the Clyde. You've got to move Wolverines in there. They are a Div 1 team. I'd put all the Div 1 teams in there.
Well, they're all Div 1 teams.
They're all Div 1 teams.
Yeah. There's no Div 2 teams there, yeah. So we'll leave them there.
So they're the top. Right, okay.
We reckon these are the top Div 1
Bournemouth.
teams.
Yeah, so I'd go at the minute. East Kilbride at the top. Put them top.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I think they will steal a couple of players from. I think they're good. I like James Moss as well.
Yeah. I'd go East Kilbride and then.
Northumberland are always there.
Yeah, that's what I would have.
But Bournemouth won 20.
I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Who did they beat?
Bournemouth, Portsmouth Destroyers, or Dreadnoughts or whatever they are. Sorry.
Yeah.
I would still probably have the Thunder above them.
I would probably have Rushmore.
And Knights. I'd have Rushmore.
What about Aberdeen, Oxford, Rams, Hearts?
Oxford didn't do much, did they? They played blitz, and I would have Oxford lower down.
Did Oxford win that game or not?
Tell us, by the way, if you're watching and you think we're putting people in the wrong places yet. Let us know.
I think people do think but it's a lot of Titans lad coming.
Yeah, that's fine. I would drop Rams down one. I'd move Roughnecks down, further down, all the way down.
What, you'd have the Saints
down? No, I'd have the Rams up there.
Saints or Hearts?
I would take the Saints out altogether.
Yeah.
After that result the other day. And I'd put Wembley Stallions in there.
Well, Wembley beat
I'm
Hearts,
getting
didn't they?
messages
So
off people now, brother.
Wembley have got to beat him because they beat Hearts. So, yeah, whilst we like Hearts, Wembley beat them. So, I think Wembley. I think we slept on.
Thank you very much for this. I think some insider knowledge just came through.
Go on.
Portsmouth apparently have only got 20 players.
All right, okay. Yeah, Yorkshire. I know Ramsey. I love underdog status. I think you just fell cropper to the fact that you've not played yet. If you guys come out and beat Sheffield, then the Rams. They'll climb quite highly.
I'd rather, mate, this is just week one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying. This is week one.
Yeah.
Is that the last? Is that the bottom one as well? Yeah, it's the bottom. All right, so
You got the bonus. I've moved Sussex Thunder down.
Who else?
Took a big L. Potentially.
Mate, I'm going to put Halton. I'm going to stick Halton Spartans in that one.
Well, no, you're not, because Chester beat them, so it'd be Chester.
Oh well, Chester then. Yeah, sorry, Chester. I thought we had Chester in there.
No, so Chester go in as our wild card bonus team, just so we can't decide. Yeah. Okay, so
can we have a quick? We want a quick recap from the top where you are now and why you missed it. Right, so we've got Warriors in there. Okay, number one spot. Basically, gone Warriors. I haven't played a game yet, but it's the Warriors. So we've put them at. We expect that to move and shift anyways, if possible. Got London Blitz there. They played Kent Exiles in the first game. It was a very close game. They did come out on top, so we've put them in there. It's a very tough division. Put Kent Exiles in 3 because of the opponent that they played. They played the Blitz and they kept them very close, as in within a field goal. So that is a very good game. We've got the Titans in there, 83-0 win or something like that over. Yes, it was a lower standard Division 1 team, but still, it was a Division 1 team nonetheless. We'll put Tamworth in at 5. The reason being is they played a very good Division 1 team, but they didn't go out and hammer them. So it was a close game. So this will change constantly, by the way. So could put them in there. Put Leicester in at 6 because how good they've done against a Prem team. We've got Merseyside who haven't played. We've got the O's who haven't played. We've got Solent who played quite well. I expect them to climb as the time goes on. We've got Sheffield who played a Division 2 team, put on 40-odd points by the first half, took everyone out and then didn't score. But so that's there. Sandwell, we expect them to come out flying. Aztecs, they could go up or down for me. It's one of them. Yeah. Wolves, we've put them there just because really they haven't played yet. They are still a Prem team. I don't know how they're going to come out, but that's the bottom of the Prem pile that we've put there. East Kilbride Pirates, we expect them to win Division 1 or be close with Vikings, so it's them and Vikings toss up because of last year. And I know that Vikings have lost players and things. We've put East Kilbride above them, then Vikings. Bournemouth after their win against Portsmouth. The Knights, Wembley Stallions, Rams, Thunder, and Chester Romans, knowing that they've got about 70-odd players, but they just scraped it against.
I'm making a quick change. Sussex did get beat, so they're going down a spot. And they can come back up, and then I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, but who did Sussex play? Sussex played a Prem team?
Shropshire. Sorry,
Played...
These.
Yeah, and it wasn't that bad of a result.
Yeah, I know, but you lost. So you still lost. So win next week and climb back up. So we'll do our best to keep track of this. We'll download this and share it. Don't hate us all too much. You're entitled to your opinion. But yeah, so we'll see. Notes for next week. Be interesting to see next week.
Solent, however you say it.
Be interesting to see Titans.
Nero, send us a hat.
Send us a hat. I think Titans have got to go and put on another show against Halton, aren't they? Blitz, and I think they're the only big changes. What could happen to that top 5? I don't think.
So who we got in it next week again? So who's playing next week fixtures?
So we have got Well, you've got a big rival game of yourself.
Yeah.
Let's go to the top. So we've got Oxford Saints versus Hearts Cheetahs, so that should give us a good understanding.
That'll give us a good indication on where they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Blitz beat Oxford Saints as well, so we might bring some Div 2 teams into this as it goes along as well.
Thank God for that.
So we'll get a good picture of Oxford versus Hearts next week. So Hearts hopefully take care of business. Sheffield Giants v Yorkshire Rams again gives us a good indication of where those teams are at. Halton versus Manchester, well, that should be a massacre. Merseyside versus Chester, so that'd be a really good game for us to see where Chester are actually at and where Merseyside are at starting their season. Bournemouth Bobcats play Rushmore Knights. That'd be really good for that middle tier south.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Area. That should be a good result for us. Cornwall Monarchs versus Torbay Trojans. So the Monarchs.
Oh,
again,
it's the Pasty Bowl. It's the Pasty Bowl.
I want to see if we can see this Cornwall Monarchs team against it's a bit of a Div 2 division, isn't it? That division, that's the problem.
You've got Bristol in there, haven't you? Bristol in there?
It's just the Apache one.
So
so they'll just win that division.
But they should still realistically be a Div 1 team.
Yeah.
Realistically.
But Crewe versus Sandwell. Sandwell just need to go and put a beating on Crewe. And then Leicester v Shropshire should give us an idea of where Shropshire are at in comparison to Leicester.
I want to see at least 60 points from Sandwell in that game, by the way.
Yeah, Sandwell, go and put up a burger and don't concede. Like, you've got take care of business there. Otherwise, if you don't
take care of it. Yeah, take care of it quick and then just rep people in.
Lincolnshire Bombers versus Nottingham Caesars, not going to give us much unless Nottingham go out and actually turn up this week. Cambridgeshire Cats versus Colchester Gladiators, so Cambridgeshire could give us
a big one.
They could give us something to look at.
So should Glads as well. Glads are a good team.
Yeah, and then Norwich Devils versus Ouse Valley Eagles, so we should see how
that's what I'm looking for. Devils could be high up in this as well, you know.
Exactly, so we'll see how that all pans out to see if anyone starts to make the rise. A big one for you guys this week, Gateshead Senators versus Northumberland Vikings.
Oh, I thought you meant Gateshead Academy versus Leeds and North East Giants. All right,
no. Worcester Black Knights versus Hertfordshire Stampede, and then Bristol Aztecs take on Swindon Storm, so we'll see where Bristol is at.
I think that's going to be a great game, by the way. That Aztec Storm's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
What's your game of the week for that? What's going to be your game of the week?
My game of the week. What one thing I'm looking for? I do like you guys. I like Gateshead Northumberland just because of the rivalry up there.
Gateshead and Northumberland always seem to play at the same time as Torbay and Cornwall play as well, which I find really weird.
I think my game of the week would be Bournemouth versus Rushmore. I think that would be the closest game. I like Sheffield. I like the Yorkshire rivalry as well. I like Sheffield v Yorkshire.
That's what I was going to call. That's what I'm going to put as my game of the week. Sheffield.
Yeah, that's what. In advance, I'm looking forward to that game. I mean, it should be a win for. I was always intrigued with the Sheffield season because they've been on that proverbial just staying up in the Prem. So I'm really interested to see.
I need to go sort out football, so I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Someone put upset in Yorkshire. What? The Rams are gonna get up. The Rams might get upset after Sheffield stomp all over them, but that's about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hartford, Stampede, wrong county, guys. Sorry, Colin. Thanks very much. It's south of Nottingham. It doesn't count. I'm only joking. Right, guys. Thanks very much for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure to have loads of you watching. See you all later. Thanks very much. Join us next week for another breakdown of Britball. Bye. Love you all.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.